North America is the third largest continent on Earth after Asia and Africa, covering an area of about 24,709,000 square kilometers, representing approximately 16.5% of the Earth's land area. It extends from the tiny Aleutian Islands in the northwest to the Isthmus of Panama in the south. Through the Isthmus of Panama, the North American continent is connected to the South American continent, which are collectively called as the Americas. The Americas make up more than 90% of the land in the Earth's western hemisphere. An 82-kilometer long man-made Panama Canal cuts through the country Panama and joins Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific, roughly dividing Americas into North and South, although it is actually the Darien Gap that separates North and the South Americas. The North American continent is bounded by the Pacific Ocean on the west, the Atlantic Ocean on the east, the Caribbean Sea on the south, and the Arctic Ocean on the north. Greenland is considered to be the part of North American continent because it lies on the North American tectonic plate, yet the island is politically part of Denmark, which is in Europe. The North America is broadly divided into three regions: Northern America and Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean. There are 23 countries in the continent, but only two countries, namely Canada and USA, occupies around 80% of the area of whole of the continent. Linguistically and culturally, North America is divided into two primary regions, Anglo-America and Latin America. Anglo-America have the English-speaking population, whereas Latin America have the population speaking Spanish, Portuguese or French. Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle passes through the continent. A small portion of the continent lies in the subtropic climatic zone, where they receive high rainfall and average temperatures are also high. A major portion of the continent lies in temperate zone, where the average annual temperatures are relatively moderate, and a small portion lies in the polar climatic zone, where the average temperature lies below 10 degrees Celsius throughout the year. The continental coastline is long and irregular. The Gulf of Mexico is the largest body of water indenting the continent, followed by the Hudson Bay. Others include the Gulf of St. Lawrence and the Gulf of California. The vast majority of the North America is on the North American plate. Parts of western Mexico, including Baja California, and parts of the California lies on the eastern edge of the Pacific plate, with the two plates meeting along the San Andreas Fault. The southernmost portion of the continent and much of the West Indies lies on the Caribbean plate, whereas the Juan de Fuca and Cocos Plate border the North American plate on its western frontier. The continent can be divided into five regions: the Great Plains, the mountainous west, the Canadian Shield, the varied eastern region, and the Caribbean region. The Canadian Shield is raised but relatively flat plateau extending over eastern, central, and northwestern Canada. It is characterized by rocky landscape pocked by astounding number of lakes. The tundra stretching over the northern borders of Alaska and Canada to the Hudson Bay area is a biome common to Canadian Shield, where low temperatures and precipitation levels hinder tree growth. The tundra is characterized by permafrost, which keeps moisture near the soil surface, promoting vegetation growth even in the extreme Arctic conditions. During the summer, this top layer of soil thaws only a few inches down, forming numerous shallow lakes and ponds. The average annual temperature in the ecoregion ranges from -8 degrees Celsius to -5 degrees Celsius. Average winter temperatures from -24 degrees Celsius to -21.5 degrees Celsius, and average summer temperatures between 8 degrees Celsius to 11 degrees Celsius. The next physical region, called as the Western region, consists of young mountains in the western part of the continent, a part of which is known as the Rocky Mountains, stretches from the province of British Columbia, Canada, to the US state of New Mexico. The Rockies are part of a system of parallel mountain ranges stretching over long distance called as Cordilleras. The North American Cordilleras extend from Canada all the way to the Isthmus of Panama. The Sierra Madre mountain system is the part of Cordilleras stretching from the southwestern United States to Honduras. This mountain system includes many high volcanoes. Volcanic mountain ranges in Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama are also considered part of the Cordilleras. A part of the western region is the Cascade Range present in the US state of Washington, Oregon, and California, which is one of the youngest mountain range on Earth. This range includes temperate rainforest, which receive 100 to 200 inches of rainfall annually. The three major desert regions of North America, the Sonoran, Mojave, and Chihuahua, are all in the American Southwest and northern Mexico. These large deserts are located in the rain shadows of nearby mountains. The mountain blocks precipitation and accelerate the movement of hot, dry winds over these regions. The Sonoran is in the rain shadow of the coastal ranges, the Mojave is in the shadow of the Sierra Nevada, and the Chihuahua is in the shadow of Sierra Madre. In addition to the mountains, deserts, and forests, the northern part of the western region of North America also has the richest deposit of oil and natural gas. Most of these deposits are located offshore in the Arctic and Pacific Oceans. The highest peak of North American continent is Denali, officially Mount McKinley in Alaska, having height of 6,190 meters. The Great Plains lies in the middle of the continent. The major portion of the plains is covered in the fertile soil spread across Canada and the United States. A major portion of these plains is covered in prairie and steppe grasslands, where most of the food grains farming of the continent is done. These grasslands are roughly divided as short grass, mixed grass, and tall grass. Grain grown in this region, called the breadbasket of North America, feeds a large part of the world. The Great Plains are also home to rich deposits of oil and natural gas. The varied eastern region includes the Appalachian Mountains and the Atlantic coastal plains. North America's older mountain ranges, including the Appalachians, rise near the east coast of the United States and Canada. These areas have been mined for rich deposits of coal and other minerals for hundreds of years. The Atlantic coastal plains extends from the river, marsh, and wetland regions east of the mountains towards the sandy beach of the Atlantic coast. The Florida Everglades is the largest wetland system in the United States. Mexico and Central America's lowlands and coastal plains extend into the eastern region. The Caribbean region includes more than 7,000 islands, islets, and reefs. The region's islands and smaller islets are varied in their topology. Some have relatively flat and sandy terrain, while others are rugged, mountainous, and volcanic. The coral reefs of the Caribbean Sea are among the most spectacular biomes in North America. Some coral reefs surround islands such as Bahamas, Antigua, and Barbados. Others are found off the Florida Keys near the southern coast of the Florida. Apart from these 5 physical regions, the North American continent have many geographic features spread across these regions. Apart from the numerous shallow lakes present in the Canadian Shield, the continent boasts of the presence of 5 Great Lakes, namely Superior, Michigan, Huron, Erie, and Ontario. Lake Superior being the largest freshwater lake in the world. There are no significant rivers flowing for long distances in Central America and West Indies. Longest of them being Coco River flowing for 760 kilometers in Central America and Cauto River flowing for 370 kilometers in Cuba. All the significant rivers of the continent flow in the Northern America. Colorado, Columbia, Snake, Peace, Mississippi, Arkansas, Missouri, Ohio, Red, and Yukon rivers are some of the significant rivers of the continent. Missouri River, having a length of 3,766 kilometers, is the longest river of the continent. The Mississippi River, having length of 3,730 kilometers, is one of the longest river systems in the world and flows wholly in the USA. Higher plateaus in North America are found in the western region, a small portion of which lies in the Canada. Other plateaus on western region include Colorado and Columbian Plateau in USA and northern and southern plateaus in Mexico. The plateaus in eastern region are of lesser height. They include the Appalachian, Ozark, Piedmont, and interior low plateau. Grand Canyon is a part of Colorado Plateau. The North American continent has a large number of islands, majority of which are found in the West Indies and northern coast of Canada. The largest island is Greenland, although it is a territory of Denmark, but it being on North American tectonic plate is considered a part of North American continent. Area-wise, Greenland is bigger than Mexico. Other large islands are Baffin Island, Victoria Island, Ellesmere Island, Newfoundland, and Cuba. Except the tundra, Great Plains and grasslands, Western Plateau and desert regions, and mountainous region of Mexico, the whole continent is covered in forests. These parts are the boreal forests, these are the temperate forests, these are the subtropical forests, and these are the tropical forests. Kaffeklubben Island in Greenland is the northernmost point of the continent, whereas Coco Island in Costa Rica is the southernmost point. The west point of Amatignac Island is the westernmost point of the continent, whereas Nordøstrundingen in Greenland is the easternmost point. But technically Cape Rangel on Attu Island, Alaska, as well as the tiny Peaked Island just off the coast of west can be treated as the easternmost point as they lie in the eastern hemisphere. The highest point of continent is Mount McKinley in Alaska and the lowest point is Death Valley in California. Horizontal width of the continent is 4,156 kilometers and the vertical length is 8,605 kilometers. So this is all about the geography of North America. Watch this video to learn about the complete geography of Africa, and to know more about the enormous size of Brazil, watch this video. I hope that you have liked today's video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more of such videos.